Welcome to Dad's DeFi Space. If you're new here, my name is Kevin, and I am a father, a teacher, and a DeFi investor and a trader who shares exactly what I'm doing with my own portfolio, all the wins, all the risk, all my mistakes, and all the lessons I've learned along the way. And if you appreciate real and truthful content, including all these lessons I've learned along my journey, please hit like, subscribe, and ping that notification bell and share this content with anyone who would appreciate it. Now, today, I want to deep dive into the question that's on every investor's mind right now. Has Bitcoin already topped, or is the real blow off top still ahead? We're going to break down the macro structure, short term setups, and signals we're watching to know when this market may flip from bullish to bearish. Plus, I want to share some fresh alpha on some other tokens we've been looking at, two new competitors aiming to dethrone Hyperliquid. But remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. Crypto and DeFi are so risky, you can lose all your money. So, in today's video, we're going to put the spotlight on an OG old today. And in DeFi years, that's basically prehistoric. So, seriously, let's unpack, is Beefy still slipped on this new on-chain era? Look, I got alpha, I got metrics, and I got an honest take. So let's Beefy on a rug pull, or had a protocol hacked, or watched your APR go from 2% overnight. Look, this one's for you, because is Beefy Finance really still worth those large ETH gas fees we have to pay? So let's find out. But first, let's talk a little bit about Beefy's past. Compounding vault protocols that actually worked at scale. Now, if you've been around for a while, Beefy was built during DeFi's Luna implosion that I witnessed last market cycle, and it even adapted to multi-chain faster than most teams could even finish governance votes. Chain to Base to Linea to Arbitrum. We're going to find out about some others in just a minute. That's not just luck. That's execution, strong community, and an unrugged core protocol. This is something you don't see a lot of in the DeFi space. Now, it's much different. Look, today we have LSDFi, real world assets, and different AI yield protocols. And on top of that, Beefy has some good, stable vaults and delta neutral strategies that you can use on their optimization protocol. But look, Beefy still keeps it super clean, super simple. Into a vault, the protocol is doing the auto compounding and the strategy for you. The rewards are being compounded back into the position. So you keep more yield because you're doing less clicks and fees. What's crazy is Beefy has now even added strategies like Balancer LP, Aerodrome, Boosted Vault, and even stablecoin optimization that can rival any money and many out there in the DeFi space. Now, I want to be real out there, but this is a protocol we have farmed Bitcoin and stables on since last season, $115 million. You can find APRs from stable pools at 4%, single pool positions around the same, and vaults that have APRs in the thousands of percents if you want. They contain many of the new chain Scroll, Blast, Linea, Bitcoin Vault that is earning a ridiculous APR. Choose to farm on Beefy or on VFAT. The thing is that this pool has high fees and asymmetric volatility right now and tons of trading volume, which means for me. But I'm in this one, but we'll talk about why. Beefy Finance still worth it? Look, long-term yield protocols with multi-chain diversification, Beefy still delivers. It may not always have the flashiest APR on the homepage, And many of us may not want to pay some of the protocol fees, of course, because that does eat into your profits. But the consistency, security, and community trust, in my humble opinion, make this one a DeFi staple. So please, you think of Beefy as JP Morgan of yield, not that. It's not a meme coin. It's not some brand new protocol that hasn't proven itself. It's not a degenerate perpetual DEX, but it's a solid simplify yield compounding. So let's take a look at Beefy Finance to see how we can use this to our advantage. My wallet is already connected to the protocol, and you can see two and around 1,165 different vaults. Now, they have so many different chains available on here. We have Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base Network, Barachain, BNB, Kronos, Ethereum, Fractal, Gnosis, Hyper, Linea, OP, Polygon, Root, Saga, Say, Sonic, ZK Sync. Crazy positions like this Send Wrap ETH LP. It is boosted on the base network. It is earning a vault APR of 313% and an APY compounding that is a 7-day APY of 2,000%. Now, of course, I would not suggest picking vaults based off of APY, and you have to do a little bit more research than that to make sure you picking the correct vault for you. Now, we'll look at value lock pools. Here's a triple stable K3 pool on Balancer earning about 4%. A cbBTC pool that can earn 2% on your BTC with 0 in permanent. And the wrap Bitcoin, USDC were to arrange by. You can see we have other pools as ARB USDC E, 131%, Bitcoin at 93.2, a cake pool, a cake wrapped ETH, so many different options. But we can do the same thing with Avalanche. Some of these the decks on Aerodrome are earning ridiculous yields right now. So this may be something that I will take a look at, but we're already farming some other AVAX positions on VFAT right now. Crazy high yielding pools on this chain. As you can see, another chain, we're not going to be playing around with meme coin pools right now because I'm sticking with assets that I will hold for the rest of the cycle. Meme coins do not hit that category very often, but I may take a look at the Avant. So we already made do not Crystal Vault, and there should be an update coming out in the next few days. Is the days mainly because of the hype surrounding Hyperdex. There's also a lot of Chinese. It's earning a ridiculous AP, right? It's pumping. A few of them you can see on Beefy, like this one right here, to suffer ridiculous. It's earning over 900%. I like, and I'm checking out Stable Pool on Binance Chain that's earning 32% APY. Like to see how that APY has performed, which obviously it's down a lot. You can see here. It's probably a risky pool. So just because we can be a little degen, if I'm going to be a little degen, I would sometimes like to stick with bigger names, especially when yield farming. Asset pools, which there aren't any on the BNB chain. One thing I do like to use my dry powder, and to be quite honest, and some others right now, although it's earning approximately 8 been in this pool before, over on Euler does not look too bad. But before we leave, I want to show you some things I would check if I considered pools on Beefy Finance. I'm going to go to the BNB chain and go this asset, probably bookmark this one. It's earning a 966% APY, at least right now. Couple things I would look at. First and foremost is down to the bottom, and I read this right here. This gives the strategy of the vault, which is of utmost importance. Think prospectus that you would get if you were investing in index funds, ETFs, or a mutual fund. This is a CLM product, and it's using ASTER and wrap BNB and depositing that liquidity in Uniswap. It's a concentrated liquidity pool. Trading fees, right? That's pretty simplistic. We've talked about it many different times on our channel. Additional rewards that get distributed separately by Beefy accrue, and those are claimable through the CLM pool. So you can get some Beefy rewards on top of your yield. This is not available in every pool, but it will be labeled on the protocol. What they're doing is those trading fees are regularly claimed, harvested, converted, and then added to the pool. This maximize utilization to create a 50-50 position of both with as many tokens as it can. Any extra tokens go into single positions. Well, this pool is a nice pool to farm on a little bit in the near term, and it might be something we'll look at. Now, other things I would make sure to check out is how the AU has more total value lock been going into the pool. This is a big yes with this one. And you can kind of track the price of the pool. Obviously, this one is down because the price of ASTER has been into. But do we buy the pumps or do we buy at the bottoms? Check maybe you don't want to buy the dump because that is like catching a fallen knife. You understand what we're talking about. Beefy users and to all those that are all the DeFi OGs, they know the grind. Newcomers, look, welcome to reliable vaults that are so easy to zap in and zap out of, and you know you don't have to worry about it. Look, they even offer open cover insurance. You don't positions. Base wrapped Bitcoin LP strategy on Aerodrome. But for those of make a video on next week, extremely wide range of $2,000, right? So we're operating within a 40% range. But this pool, this 1% pool has been pulling an enormous amount to 10 days. I am going to stay in this stable pool with my moderately wide range of 40%, earning around a 461% APR. Now that is Arrow rewards, but we're farming some tokens. And actually, I expect a dip right now. So we are actually selling most of our rewards into stables. So if this helps you, please drop a comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss my next moves. Join our free Telegram group or check us out at dadsdefispace.org. Help support the channel by checking out our links, non-KYC exchange, Blowfin, and Weeks. That is what I trade on. So I hope each of you enjoy the rest of your day. And I want to thank you for taking some time out to help support my channel and my mission. Go find us over at Dad's DeFi Space on X at CryptoZone 1013. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay strong out there. Touch some grass. Peace.